Hello there everyone, my name is Clink, and welcome to Let's Play, well, as you can see, Super Mario Odyssey, because the game has to have this weird screen before getting to the title screen.
Super Mario Odyssey!
But yes, we are finally here at Mario Odyssey. So we've played all of the other 3D Mario games, aside from 3D Land, and we're here at Odyssey, the big Switch 3D Mario. Came out October 27th, 2017, and I'm really excited for this. It's been a while since I've played the game, so if we go to data management before starting a new game here, I've played this game a few times, but this will be the first time I'm ever playing the game to darker side, which is the final area, since my initial playthrough, and it's been a little bit since I touched that file. Usually when I say I'm going to get to it again, as you can see, I kind of fizzle out around that 400 moon mark. But I think I finished the game on all those files. There might be one of them I didn't beat it on, but we are just going to click a new game, and get started. We're not going to play assist mode, obviously. We can just play the game normally, so I'll let the intro cutscene play out, and here we go, in the skies above Peach's castle. I swear, it looks like the hat got a lot further from the airship to get than it was when it got destroyed by the propeller. But yeah, pretty simple intro cutscene, not super long, which is great for a Mario game. But it's a very different feeling premise. Like, Bowser is actually trying to marry Peach. It's not something you really see, or we've really seen happen in Mario games other than Super Paper Mario, which had a very different reason for happening. But yeah, we get to go right into it. We're already running around and jumping. And this game just continues that trend of being really weird for a Mario game right at the start. Like, usually we're in a grassy plain. I guess there's still grass, but like, it's very lacking in colors around here, so to speak. But I do really love the top hat in front of the moon there. You're not one of them, are you? No, I am not. Where does it happen? Here it is. It's the guy that stole our hat. So sorry for running away like that. You startled me, and I do startle easily. Saw what happened earlier. You've been through quite the ringer. You've landed in the Cap Kingdom. We've been under attack by the same monster that gave you such a trouncing. See, we're still using the same vocabulary from Galaxy 2. And to make matters worse, the fiend has kidnapped my little sister. Yeah, Tiara is in Peach's tiara, I guess. I'd hoped to give chase to that monster in a ship of my own. Unfortunately, all of our airships were wrecked in the attack. Although, now that I think on it, I'm fairly certain there's a functioning ship in the next kingdom over. I could get us there if only I could reach The top of Top Hat Tower, which is being guarded by the monster's henchmen. You know, it seems we're after the same thing. Perhaps we should team up. Let's see if we can't help those two. Don't worry, I got you, bro. I will be your hat now. Not your style? How about this? With just a little fragment, I too can be your hat. I feel like the Mario and Cappy look became iconic before this game even came out. So I had been around for when like 3D Land and 3D World came out. Galaxy 2 was kind of the first 3D Mario I had really played on my own, like back when it came out. But by this time I was like following games more, and especially post Breath of the Wild's release, and like there was so much hype for this game when it was announced. Like people were so excited for the return to a more Mario 64 style game than what we had been getting since Galaxy. And I think this game, it really is kind of that return to Mario 64, but they've never truly gone back to Mario 64's style, if you ask me. This is probably the closest it's gotten, even closer than Sunshine really was, because you have a lot more freedom over which moons you collect, but you do still have to complete all of the kingdoms in a certain order. It's something we'll talk about as we play through the game. But there's a lot of freedom in how you approach each world, what moons you collect, how you play the game. Mario's moveset in this game is probably about as varied. I don't know. It's definitely on the level of like Sunshine or 64's movesets, but I don't know. I'm not quite sure if I feel like Sunshine might have more going on. I don't know. I'm also not too aware of all the intricacies of this game's movement. In fact, to be honest, every time I come back to this game, I actually think it feels a little weird at first, compared to when I usually play like 64 or Sunshine, or especially Galaxy. But I mean, it feels really good once I get back into the swing of things with it, because like we can throw Cappy. If you hold Y, you can hold him out there. You can run into him to bounce off of him. You can throw him and then jump off of him. You've got your dive move. You've got long jumps. You can roll. Like, there's so many things you can do, including capturing enemies. This is such a cool cutscene. So sick. Become the frog. Do it, Mario. Just the giant frog right there as you go spiraling into space. So good. It looks so goofy. You captured a frog. So there's a whole bunch of captures in this game. I want to say there's like, I want to say it's 51. I don't fully remember. And the game does a lot to show you various controls, and there's a lot of things involving the motion controls in this game, where you have to like shake the controller to do like a higher jump or move faster. There's certain hat moves you can only do with the motion controls, which is why I think this game advertises playing with separate Joy-Cons so much when you boot it up. I've never enjoyed playing Mario Odyssey that way personally. I always liked playing with the Pro Controller ever since the game, like, I got a Pro Controller back when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had just come out, or not too long after, so I was pretty much used to just playing my games with it by the time this rolled around. Because I bought this game the second it was out. Like, I actually bought it digitally at release so I could play it a little earlier, and I remember staying up fairly late into the night playing this game, and I played it all weekend. But the approach I took to playing this game was not the best one, and I kind of was burnt out well before I reached the end. And then I came back to it like I beat it and then came back to it like 2 or 3 months later, and that's when I had really been working on the 100%, because I definitely didn't do it right at launch in 2017. But I did beat it at the time. And this is the Brutals. Heh, the boss warned me there'd be a fellow with a mustache coming along. Guess we ought to introduce ourselves. We're the wedding planners for the happy couple. They call us the Brutals. We got that treasure we needed, so we ain't got no more business in these parts. Of course, roughing up goody two-shoes meddlers was in the contract, so I guess we still got a little work to do. And I am gonna be honest, I do not remember the names of any of these guys. But this guy, we just gotta throw our hat at him and then jump on him. Pretty standard Mario boss. And we got a life up heart, which those are pretty similar to the life mushrooms in Mario Galaxy. This game follows the exact same like health structure of 3 normally, and then you can boost it to 6. So, just going ahead and hit him again. Do it. Oh, you only have to hit him twice? Okay, whatever. I guess that's fine. And here we go. Let's get out of here. That's the main tutorial, I guess. And it's time for the title drop. I have to be honest, now that we're finally getting to some of these Switch games, and Nintendo makes it a little harder on me for some of them with their title screens, so I have to roll with them having a good title drop, hopefully. And I think this one's is pretty good. And we immediately get to go into what is genuinely one of my favorite levels in this entire game, actually. I really like the Cascade Kingdom. I think it looks very pleasing, and a lot of the platforming here is just fun. Feels like it flows very well. That's a very common thing in this game, is the levels just flow really well with Mario's moveset. You can tell they put a lot of care into it. But yeah, the whole like burning out well before reaching the end of this game was kind of the thing that soured me on it a little bit. For a while at least. I was absolutely loving the game for my first like 15 hours, and then around like 2/3 of the way in was when I was like, oh my god, this game is so big and massive, and there's so many things, but ultimately so many repeated things. But then I came back and I played the game again, and I would genuinely say this is one of my favorite Mario games. It is an absolute blast when I'm not sitting there trying to force myself to 100% it just because I did that for every other Mario game. And I think that this is a game not really meant to be 100%. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people say they had a blast 100%ing this game. I did not. I thought it got very tiring by the end, which is why I'm not going to be 100%ing it in this playthrough. I pretty much consider reaching the real end, getting 500 moons, and completing the darker side of the moon. So that's kind of going to be my goal going into this, and I'm very excited for it because this is an awesome, fun time. Yeah, we can capture like the Chain Chomp, destroy this, and get our first power moon. Let's go! The first of many of these things. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I think there's... So you might notice my save file that I showed at the start had 999. I think that there's, I want to say 880 to pick up in the map. That sounds right. It's somewhere around that number. And then you have to like purchase your way up to 999. Thankfully not with real money. But you might notice in the top left, there's 5 little circles or 4 other circles where our moon is. So we need to get 5 moons to progress out of this kingdom. It does not matter what 5 moons they are. We can even ignore the entire main quest here if we find 5 moons. But you'll also find these purple coins in each kingdom. Depending on the size of the kingdom, there will be differing amounts. Smaller ones usually have 50, and your larger ones are going to have 100 purple coins. Oh my god, it's Galaxy all over again. These are kind of your side collectible for the game. They're used to purchase a bunch of little collectibles and outfits. But the moons are going to be your main goal, really. It's looking a bit more rough than I'd expected. Ah, no, it's just an older model. I'm certain it can still fly. Let's give it a shot, shall we? Just throw me on that globe there. All right. Oh, you can still move the camera around during this. Huh. And yeah, we can power up the Odyssey. Oh, nothing's happening. That power moon must not have given the ship enough energy. I wonder if we can find more around here. But I would say the main thing that this game does, similar to Mario 64, just in a much like lower quantity, is that you pretty much get to pick and choose, like, I kind of mentioned you get to pick like what moons you do in a kingdom. But you really don't need all that many moons to just beat the game. If you wanted to do the bare minimum to beat this game, you could probably beat it in, I would say, like 10 hours is being pretty generous. Maybe it would take a bit longer than that, but you could really get through this game pretty quick if you did the bare minimum. I think the best way to approach the game is like do a decently intensive exploration of each kingdom as you're playing through, and then once you feel like you've seen the bulk of the kingdom, maybe not necessarily found everything, but just seen enough to where you feel like you're ready to move on to the next, and then do that. I think that's personally the best way to approach this game to have the most fun. But I think in this playthrough, I'm going to not necessarily do the bare minimum in each kingdom before moving on to the next, but I'm not going to do a lot either. And we can become the T-Rex. I forgot that there was no cutscene for becoming the T-Rex when you're playing the game, because the main reveal trailer for the game, well, I guess we knew about the game before the trailer, but the first like really big trailer for this game had started with the T-Rex coming into frame, and then it shows Cappy on top and drops Super Mario Odyssey, and it was such a hype trailer. E3 2017 was awesome. It was great. I think that there's another moon over here we can pick up. I think it's in this thing. So let's capture this chain chomp here. I might be wrong. This might just be coins. Oh, no, there is a moon. Okay, yeah. Whee! We've seen that animation a whole lot. And you'll notice since we deposited the one moon already, the circles went down to 4 instead of 5. And then this is just another way to get around here. I really like these little like cloud platforms too. I think they're cool. You can use the hat to get coins as well. You can retrieve a lot of things with the hat. The hat is just great. We love Cappy around here. He's the best. Can we? No. Okay, so they have a lot of stuff in Cascade Kingdom blocked off. If you want to explore it more after completing the main objectives here, you're very much able to. But the things we can do here for right now are quite limited. And let's go on ahead and hold out Cappy there, and ba-boom. Whoa, the chomp's like all blurry there. I think you can also destroy that with the T-Rex if you walk all the way over here with it. But the T-Rex, I'm pretty sure, is on a timer. I also just realized we got 37 of the 50 purple coins. And this is your introduction to the 8-bit segments, which you cannot control with the D-pad, which is fine. I mean, that's like a really minor complaint. I just like the moment I'm in 2D, I'd rather use the D-pad personally. We got a little hidden moon over here. But the 8-bit sections are a lot of fun. They're very cute. I don't think they really overstay their welcome too hard. And I think it's a good way to do the 2D segments in this game. Kind of like how Galaxy 2 had a lot of 2D sections and levels. But this game, you know, it goes for a little bit of a different spin on it. And is the moon up here available yet? I don't think so. Okay. We are going to go on ahead and at least complete the main objective here in Cascade Kingdom today. Excuse you, sir. Okay, I'm gonna have to bounce this one in. Yeah, you can kind of like bounce the chain chomps off of each other. There's gonna be a little side area that actually does that later. Hello. What is your name? I almost wanted to call you Madam Meow Meow, but that's Link's Awakening. I think you're just like Miss Brutal or something. What's this? You say you need to repair some silly old airship. Why, I could never part with any of my precious power moons. It sounds to me like someone wants to be a snack for my adorable chain chompikins. It has a little hat too. I love it. All right. Same deal we've been doing in the kingdom so far. Going ahead and hit her in the face. And she does the throwing of the chomp. Sometimes it's best to let the chomp like go out and then, yeah, I couldn't remember if she did this now or not, but yeah, there we go. One more. He's all angry already. I would say as well that Mario Odyssey is probably the easiest 3D Mario game to finish. I don't know. I would maybe say 3D Land's easier as well, but this is probably the easiest of the 3D Marios overall. But I would also say it has some of the hardest challenges. Lowest lows and highest highs in terms of difficulty. And there we go. There's our first multi-moon. I guess these are kind of meant to be like the grand stars of Mario Odyssey. But, you know, it's not like you have to get these to unlock the next world. However, they do go a long way to boosting your moon count in each level, I guess. And there we go. You've done it, and now we've got a multi-moon. It's the strongest 3 power moons combined. It should get the ship moving in no time. Let's see if we can't make this work. Throw me on that globe. Alright, Cappy, whatever you say, man. Let's get these 5 moons into the Odyssey. Oh, I missed some coins over there. Oh well. You can already notice there's a couple of extra moons lying around now that we've finished the main goal here. Odyssey is restored. And once you've restored the Odyssey, you are able to go to the level selector, which next up is the Sand Kingdom, but I think this is going to be a good spot to end this first episode, so I will see you guys next time for the Sand Kingdom. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you for more of the journey. Bye-bye!